You know what? Fuck off. It's the beer bubbles. Go! Hello everybody, welcome to Beer Bubbles, the bubbliest podcast in the world, at least as far as we know. I'm sitting here with Rasmus.
Hello.
And today we have a special guest from CASK Sweden, Oskar Lind. Welcome to Beer Bubbles.
Thank you so much.
Who are you?
I'm a sales rep at CASK, so I go around all days and sell beer.
Okay, and your background, how did you end up in this beautiful world of beer?
I moved to Stockholm about 15 years ago with ambitions of being a rock star and playing bands. And I needed money, so I started as a bartender in the restaurant business. And then I got stuck with alcohol.
We're all alcoholics in this beautiful world of music and beer.
Sunshine.
Yay.
We tend to meet quite a lot of musicians, Rasmus.
Yeah, and, well, I don't know, musicians tend to go for beverages, I guess.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Definitely.
Since back in the day, I also wanted to be a rock star. Ended up working with beer, so.
Where did we end up?
I'm still think I'm going to be a rock star. I'll turn 50 this year.
Someday.
Never give up the dream.
But we are rock stars behind the bar, so it's fine.
So tell us a bit about CASK Sweden. What is CASK Sweden?
So CASK Sweden is a beer importer. So it's been going on now for almost 12 years, I think. I have been with the team for the 4 past years. And they focus mainly on craft beer. And that's what CASK Sweden is. And we'll always focus on craft beer. So the main brands, can just drop a few. Ballast Point, Stone, Brewdog. So quite big guys in the craft business. But also smaller Swedish breweries and a lot of UK breweries. So it's a really good mix and a real nice portfolio.
There you got This Is How from Umeå.
Definitely. We have Åre Bryggeri Company. Mm-hmm. Wonderful guys, wonderful beers. We have...
Real lunatics.
Okay.
In the best possible way.
Anders is the most wonderful yeastomaniac.
Yeah. Just a really high quality beer and they are really awesome.
What is your role here at CASK?
I'm working as a sales rep. So I go around and sell to the restaurant business. Mainly from Linköping up to Umeå and Luleå. So it's a quite big district with focus on Stockholm, of course.
But how come you took the step from standing behind the bar and going into retail, so to speak?
Definitely the hours. Working late, working nights. Of course, it's wonderful. But after a while, it will get very tiring. The best options was if I still wanted to work with beers and with alcohol, I'm going over to the retail side. So a very natural step.
Was it difficult to change?
No, it was lovely.
Are you lying?
Yeah, I miss it a little bit, long hours behind the bar, especially all the guests and all the bullshit.
The colleagues, the instant gratification you get from a guest that is really, really happy.
Yeah, and definitely like the second family with all the colleagues, hang around most of hours. Yeah.
Well, what did you bring with you from your experience working behind a bar to go out selling?
Definitely the knowledge about beverages. So that was a big icebreaker to going into this kind of business. But also all the connections with the customers. So it's the same thing, basically, as we working behind a bar or going in and sell beer to a restaurant. So
when I was working at Älghjärtat, we did an event together.
Yeah.
We had a big party. We did Mykters, I think, and Åre Bryggeri Company as the beer. Are those kind of events something that you focus on? Or is it something you do a lot, or is it something that just happened?
I would like to do it more. But basically, the 2 past years, everybody know what's happened. I try to get back on the wheel again with all the events, and I We will get there, but right now it's a lot of festivals, because all the festivals that got closed down under these 2 years, they try to like choke in a half year now. So everybody try to have their own festival, and you need to attend and be there. So focus is on that.
So how many festivals are you going to this summer and autumn?
Summer and autumn, I think it's around 15 festivals. So I just came back now this Saturday from Oslo Craft Beer Festival with a little bit over 20 breweries. So it's actually a festival that CASK Oslo made with all the breweries that they import.
Yes, because CASK Sweden, CASK is not just CASK Sweden. It's CASK Moestue, which is the wine part from the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah, so the Moestue we have in Oslo and in Sweden, and they only focus on wines and spirits. And then we have CASK Norway and CASK Sweden. And even CASK International in UK. So there are 3 guys there right now. It's growing, definitely.
Well, that's good. Also, you also find new avenues to find new breweries and new people to work with. Yeah.
And just look at our portfolio now. We have like around 8 UK breweries, and that's a lot. Thanks to Simon at CASK International. Vill du ha en öl?
Det går inte idag.
De är kalla.
Oscar just asked us if we wanted a beer, and both me and Rasmus looked at each other and went like, no, not today.
You look so tired, guys.
No, we're
liquid sunshine.
Oh, that's really true. That's really
yeah.
So, looking for new breweries, how's the process going? How is that process?
What's that process like?
I'm not a guy who really are out there and looking for breweries. That's my colleagues, as Dan and Patrick Strandberg and guys like that. But mostly, a lot of breweries around the world wants to come into the Swedish market because we have something that's called Systembolaget. If you get the product into Systembolaget, it will fly away.
You're home free.
Yeah. So basically, a lot of times we will start with a new brewery. We focus on the Horeca business, and then we maybe will go for a tender at Systembolaget and see what's happened. So,
and for people who don't know what Horeca is, it's hotel and restaurant business. Yeah. It's an acronym for hotel and restaurants.
Yeah.
So you're basically, or importers are basically the gateway into the Systembolaget for
definitely
international.
Yeah. So because it's a lot of work to work with Systembolaget, and when you have guys that know how to do it, it's big help. So yeah.
So what do you think of the beer scene over the last, say, decade here in Sweden?
Definitely crazy. It's just too much going on all the time. So yeah, even that's my work to be updated on stuff. It's just too much going on, definitely.
But have you noticed any new trends just lately?
Still the New England IPA trend is still going strong. A little bit boring now, maybe, but still a small trend with very classic beers. Classic British styles and German styles are coming back slowly, which I love.
Yeah, definitely.
And when Stigberget does a classic Keller beer and a brown ale, then people tend to follow.
Yeah, definitely. I had Stigberget's best bitter last night, 3.5%. Wonderful.
Good.
It's actually really wonderful. And I like that beer style is coming back because I miss it.
Yeah, and I think well-known breweries as Stigberget and those guys who have had a lot of success with their New England IPAs, people are feeling very comfortable with their brand. And if they going back to the old school and the miles and bitters and stuff like that, people will follow.
Yeah, and to me that's perfect because the older I get, the more classic I get in my taste in beer. So going to a fair and I try 800 different beers at a festival maybe, and then I end up standing there drinking a lager anyhow in the end.
But a really good brewed lager is beautiful. So it's,
it's hard to beat.
It's really hard to beat. It is.
So what's the future for CASK Moestue or CASK Sweden?
Keep on doing what we are doing, I guess. So following beer trends, finding new breweries, work work closer with the brewers that we have, just bring out good beers to the market, and maybe be a little bit of a pain in the ass on the big guys.
And you can finally get your beer out to the customers as well.
We
'Cause
can.
I've heard you've changed your delivery partner.
Yeah.
Finally!
Now we use Scanlog, and people that order beers will get the beers. So
We got when I worked in a bar before, Oscar was one of my main sales reps, and CASK was one of my main suppliers. And they had a transport deal with the former government-owned postal service in Sweden.
Yeah.
PostNord. Post-murder.
it works.
No, it didn't work. That was the problem.
No, but post-murder works.
Yeah. To get the delivery, it was kind of a hit and miss.
Yeah. We've all experienced that.
And I know how frustrated you were about it.
Yeah, it could turn out pretty interesting sometimes, and yeah, just trying to keep happy.
And what is the future for Oscar at CASK Moostua?
Doing what I'm doing, I guess. And maybe do it even better.
Were you satisfied where you are?
Yeah.
Good environment to work in.
Yeah.
And nice colleagues.
Very nice colleagues.
Yeah.
Very relaxed colleagues, and yeah, high to the roof, as you would translate it from Sweden.
It's a very nice office.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit jealous about the hang-around space where you have the sofa and TV and the kitchen. It's really nice.
And PlayStation 5, very important.
Oh, yeah. PlayStation 5.
Yeah. It was Patrick that bought that.
We need to move out of the restaurant business.
Are you hiring?
Don't you have PlayStation 5 at Accurat?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Down the cellar.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
room.
that place is nice as well.
It really is.
You could lock me in there in any. There's a few beers there.
When Armageddon comes, that's where we will be at.
Yeah, that's our bomb shelter.
Yeah. But you have a big assortment in the lager space.
Yeah.
Where you have a little bit of everything, because you work with not only beer, you work with whiskey and some wine as well, right?
Yeah. So actually, I'm employed for CASK Moostua. That's our service company, and together with all the wine, spirits, and beers, we have a little bit over 1,000 different articles, which is quite a lot. So just to remember it all can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. There's a lot of products to deal with.
Yeah.
How would you say you're not one of the biggest suppliers in Sweden?
Definitely not.
But you do have... That must give you some kind of leeway when it comes to, or at least flexibility when it comes to bringing in and getting out different kinds of brands as your partners in and what you're going to sell.
Yes, because we can do a little bit more how we like to do it, and we're not signing like really big contracts with the bigger brands and stuff like that. So we definitely have a little more flexibility to it.
You can be faster on your feet.
Yeah. And I think we can be more service-minded towards our customer, because we have such a broad portfolio, and they can just choose wherever they like to.
I must say, working with this company, it's you're more personable than lots of other companies.
Definitely, and that's always appreciated, because when you do business together and you buy things from each other, it's really important to have that. And I felt that when we had the party as well. It's really nice to see the crew hanging out and staying for the event as well. So that's always appreciated.
Yeah, I think that's a very important part to be there. So as much as possible.
And if you work with Oscar, he always answers his phone. Or if he doesn't, he call you back.
Yeah.
Which is something you don't get from everyone else.
Like the pre-text message, can I call you back in a minute? Yeah, of course. I use that a lot.
How many times have you used that?
Ooh, I don't keep count, unfortunately.
That's part of being a sales rep. You're in meetings all the time, and then you have to turn your phone off.
Yeah, spending a lot of hours in the car, and it's...
What's the hardest part of being a sales rep?
I guess all the boring stuff with, economics and stuff like that, that I don't really find or so keen on doing sometimes. But, all the administration or all the paperwork, because you want to be out there with the customer, have tastings or plans for the future and stuff like that. But sometimes it can be a little more office time. Which I don't like, of course, but yeah.
You want to sell beer?
I want to sell beer. And I want to try beer, I want to talk beer, and yeah.
You want to be a bartender?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Now I knew it. I'm going to go back.
It's basically what you explained.
Yeah. Been doing this for 8 years.
But we're sitting here on a Monday. But how does your average week look? Or is there an average week?
No, actually not, because you don't really know what will happen. Of course, you try to pre-book meetings for the next week and so forth and so on. But I guess you need to be prepared for everything. Maybe it's like a tap system that don't work. You need to go out to the customer, just bring some tap lenses, or it can just be high and lows.
I feel like you have to be very flexible because the restaurant business is so flexible.
Yeah.
Because bartenders are not really known for their, keen, neat schedule, and
their ability to plan ahead. It's like, oh shit, I needed that yesterday.
Yeah, but it's
Can I see you in
always
10
like
minutes?
that. Yeah, it's like, Oscar, I need beer, of course, when you need it yesterday. And okay, we'll see what I can do.
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
But I think that's a fun way to work as well, because it always keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, it does, actually. So.
And especially for someone who doesn't like admin.
Yep, definitely.
It's nicer to have something that's more spontaneous and
yes, something that I can rely on. It's yeah.
How have you seen the Stockholm bar scene? Now I know with COVID and everything that it went weird, but now when it's starting up again and everything seems to go back to some quite a normal. Last 2-3 weeks we've seen that it's become more and more to do. Have you seen that change in the last couple of months for your sales as well?
Definitely, it's night and day. So right now we're selling out all the beers that we have, which haven't happened for 2 years basically. So bringing in more expensive beers like Kings County Brewing Collecting, Equilibrium and stuff like that, and we're okay, is it really going to sell? It's quite expensive. And then just within a few days we're out of stock.
Swoosh.
And we're oh, this is lovely, let's bring in more.
How is the mental state there with the knowing that anything can change at any time? Speed up, speed down, or keep it steady?
Just keep it steady, because we did a mistake under these past 2 years, when things was brightening up a little bit. Okay, let's push the bottom, let's bring in more beers. And then it was closing down again, and then we stood there with a lot of beers that we needed to destroy. So I think just take it smaller batch and just have a nice level and just pick up slowly. But the restaurant business is, when it opens up, and it's going from 0 to 100. So it's hard when you need to wait for delivery that may take 4 weeks. So
yeah, deliveries now is quite different,
especially the deliveries from the rest of Europe,
and all the containers, and it's just very hard to get transports.
But we can tell as well, it's really night and day. If you look at January, when we were still had some kind of restrictions of how you could sit and how many people you could take into the restaurant, till now, where everyone is just going apeshit crazy. They're going out and they're drinking like there's no fucking tomorrow.
Yeah, the clientele has changed a little bit, I feel. I haven't worked at Akkurat before the pandemic, but generally you feel the guests have changed a little bit, or the mentality of...
Yeah, and also weekdays people leave earlier.
Yeah.
They go home early, which is strange.
Why?
Sometimes 10 o'clock at night, you stand in the restaurant and it looks like mom called everyone and said it's time to go home now. Because everyone pays their bills and just fucks off. But I think that's...
I guess restaurants closing at 8 or 10 for so long change people's habits.
Yeah, but do you recognize that people are going out earlier, or...
No, they're just drinking more in a shorter time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, Fridays and Saturdays,
Oh, they
and
stay
some
out.
Thursdays actually. Thursday or Wednesday, I would say.
Yeah.
It's either one of those days. It can go mental, or it's quiet until like 9, 10 a.m. or p.m. and then it just fills up with 60, 70
Yeah, but
people.
that's when we're right next door to Hilton. And like last
Conference
Wednesday,
Oh.
they had a conference on and they didn't tell us. So about 60 people just jumps in the door at 9 o'clock, 9:10.
Yeah, the first customer I get is like 15 beers and 14 gin tonics. I'm like, all right then.
You know you're in one of the best beer bars in the world. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Happy campers.
Yeah. And Cece had to be a technician
Yeah.
Yeah, because your tap broke down.
in the middle of pouring.
Oh.
The beer started pouring everywhere. I'm like, oh, what's happening? And I got like a PTSD thing from it because I remember a couple beers back at Pitchers, one of the taps broke completely and just 30 liters in the bar and on me. And it was too far to run to the basement, so I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to get there in time.
Just stand there and get it.
So I just froze and like, CC.
He was quite happy now that I was there, actually.
Yeah,
For
I
once.
definitely was.
So what is your day today after this?
So we're going to go out and meet Flying Elk.
Yeah, our own place.
Yeah.
So they will open, and yeah, I'm going to have some coffee meetings and go back to some admin, and then I'm going to leave for Sundsvall tomorrow.
Okay.
So it's going to be kind of fair with the Minigo.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so we're going to spend the night there, say hi to the Bishop guys, and yeah, then we're going to Gävle the day after.
Okay, yeah.
Because like the past 2 years, we haven't like met like colleagues in the business. So yeah, just see each other again and talk shit.
Is that what the festivals are now? Like everybody just happy to see each other and
Definitely,
they're going
definitely.
crazy, yeah.
Yeah, so like this weekend, like meeting the Stone guys again, and like the guys from Brewdog was just lovely. People have aged, so.
Are you going to Brew School?
Not to Breskival. So we're going to attend with a couple of breweries on the All in Beer Fest.
Okay, yeah.
So
The one in Stockholm.
Yeah, the one in Stockholm. So we're going to be there with the Verdant and North Monk, and we're even going to have some.
What dates is that?
It's the first week in June, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's the same time as Sweden Rock,
Ah.
which
you're
is
not
a
happy
little
about?
bit down. No, I'm not happy about that. So. But I have my colleague Dan who's going to be there for the All-In Beer Fest, and we're going to have a tap takeover at Stigberg's Foot.
Okay.
So we're going to have North Monk there, and we're going to have a tap takeover at Tritonia with the Verdant.
At Andreas'
Yeah.
little corner of the world.
Yeah, a nice and cozy place.
That really is his corner of the world.
Oh yeah, well you can fit 14 people in there if you stand really close to each other. It's one of the weirdest beer bars in Sweden, I'd say,
Yeah.
since it is so small.
Yeah, but I hold like a lot of TTOs there over like the past years, and it's always a smashing hit.
Oh yeah,
And yeah,
they know their stuff. Great place. If you've never been to Tritonia, go see Andreas.
definitely.
I must go visit him someday.
And we must make sure that we are off together for All in Beer Fest.
Definitely, because that
That's
sounds
important.
like a lot of fun.
Oscar, I think we're going to wrap up.
Oh,
Nice.
We're going to
for
take
the-
some pictures of some of the beers that you distribute.
Definitely.
We're going to take a picture of you
Oh.
so you can see the rock star that Oscar is.
Poor
in
people.
his full
You can
glory.
take your headphones off when
Yeah,
you take the
can I?
picture.
Like my 80s freestyle headphones.
Yeah.
The ones that Rasmus
What is it?
bought for.
Chicka freestyle.
Finally.
But Oscar, you're about to die. So you can have one last beer. Anything in the world. What are you having?
Oh, what a question. I think I'm going to have... My last beer will be the one that I had first. So it's going to be a green lager from Åbro.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand the
So
sentiment.
I think going out the same way you came in.
Oh, well, okay. Fair enough. Good answer.
I don't know if that applies to everything.
Craft beer.
Oscar, thank you very much for having us here at the office.
Yeah.
And we'll see you around.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
See you soon.
I'm only a call away.
Yes, you
Cheers.
are. Cheers. Oh, no.
Okay.
Before we go,
Okay.
what's something that you must always do?
Oh yeah, we gotta say this. We have to say something together.
You almost forgot our catchphrase.
Yes.
It's been a long day.
And guys out there, just remember, whatever you do, drink better beer.